The European government has issued edicts to ban Russian media from within the EU, using tech platform monopolies to police this rule. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar to what the communists, Russia and China, do already inside of their own countries? So the EU has banned Kremlin-backed, basically Russian-backed media from being able to disseminate their content in Europe. Funny, they won't ban the gas from Russia, though. But they'll ban the content, and they are doing it through large tech content platforms, right? Ring a bell? More content censorship. We've been talking about for years on this show how we need less content censorship, not more content censorship. And actually, the irony in all of this is where we are pro a decoupling between the West and communist dictatorship countries like Russia and China. We're pro that, talked about it for years. But the reason why we are pro that is because we're pro Western values, freedom, free speech, the things that have made America so strong for so many hundreds of years now. But when you see actions like this, these actions actually are right in the face of all of those Western values, right? This is more censorship. This is a stifling of free speech. Whether the information is fake news or propaganda, I think we all have come to realize that all media is propaganda of some sort these days, right? Like everyone's figured that out by now. Now the European government is doing, and the US government has started to do this too. Right? It's not just the EU here. Just in this one instance, the EU has made it very explicit what they want to happen. The Russian government and the Chinese government use their own tech platforms to do what? To censor and regulate what content you can read and consume in Russia and China. And now what is the EU doing? The same exact thing. So you look at these actions and you say, you know what? The EU is actually operating like the communist countries that we talk about on this show do not exhibit the right values, and therefore we need to, actively stop working and doing business and collaborating with communist dictators. But how different are the actions of the EU in this spat to stifle information, whether or not you agree or disagree with the content? So fortunately, no surprise, Elon, our hero, tweeted, Starlink has been told by some governments, not Ukraine, ironically enough, right, to block Russian news sources. We will not do so unless at gunpoint. Sorry to be a free speech absolutist. Elon just reminds me of Francisco Danzonia. If you any Atlas Shrugged fans out there, Atlas is on the shelf, of course. Enterprising billionaire, kind of has like that party boy type of brand around him. It's great to watch how he conducts himself. He continues to not disappoint when it comes to, standing up for what he believes is right and ultimately, what his value system is and how he's living by that. So very unfortunate to see with this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict, Western governments actually employing tactics that we criticize the communist governments for having done. Not a good look, frankly. There's a big difference between doing business in and with these countries that are run by communist dictatorships, Russia and China, and allowing free speech, right? There's a big difference. You can disagree with the people. You can disagree with the information. You can disagree with, people's ethics and political decisions. But again, this content censorship theme, and then the idea of, okay, I'm going to go start a business in Russia, or I'm going to go do business deals with Russians. Those are two very different spectrums. Seizing Russian citizens' yachts, right, in Germany and this kind of stuff. Again, this is the stuff that the communists do. This is what countries with no laws and just basically have dictatorships. That's what they do, okay? And this precedent is so dangerous to set. We've already seen the precedent set now with content censorship, and it's only gotten worse, not better, right? You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Now they're just like outright seizing the assets of any Russian mogul just because, it maps back to Putin. Yeah, that's like the easy thing to do. But again, you've now set the precedent. And how else is that precedent going to be applied, right? What happens if that precedent is now applied to people that are German citizens or European citizens, but, are taking a political stance that Germany, the people in power in Germany don't like, right? I mean, you can't tell me that that's a conspiracy theory based upon what we've seen these past few years, right? It's a horrible precedent to set. Not really sure what it's actually accomplishing other than, frankly, just eroding the Western value system, which is supposed to be markedly different from the communist value system. But they unfortunately seem to be getting closer and closer together rather than farther apart. Not the right direction. If you like this video, go watch this other video where we talked about how we turned down doing business with Russia. Actually, just in December, they offered us a bunch of money to come speak, and we said no, before all of this was in vogue. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out.